One of the things that I love about our new little like Sick Boy HQ setup that we have here, HQ, straight from Bayvert, Newfoundland. The thing I love about Sick Boy HQ is that A, we get lots of work done here, which is nice, feels good, productive. I like it. Mm-hmm. B, feels nice and homey on the set here. If you'd like to see the set and you're only been listening with your ears, go on over to YouTube and just give it a little look-see. We're on YouTube. You can, and while you're there, hit the subscribe button and knock the bell icon. That way you always know when we're putting out new content, which is every fucking Friday. You know it. But then the other thing I love about it is that over this side of the set, for our visual folks, you can't see it. But we've got a nice little setup where, you know, we can get work done, but also we can like come hang here sometimes. And
there's always like an orgy happening behind us as well.
Guys, I feel like,
hey, Tom, quiet.
I feel like
don't put that in there.
Quiet, Tom.
Since we moved in here, I feel like every single Friday or Saturday night, there's been some event we've been watching together here.
Perfect segue, Brian.
We've just been hanging out here a lot.
So we have we're big fans of mixed martial arts, and it's, you know, for MMA fans, it's been a really wonderful time. COVID really didn't take away much from
it. Added to
it really added to the ability to enjoy the sport.
Mm-hmm.
And so we've been coming in here and we've been watching a lot of UFC fights. They've been happening kind of regularly on Saturdays, every second Saturday.
We're going to be doing a fight companion.
No, we're not.
But it's interesting. Maybe it's interesting for you to hear this because like we're pretty sweet and sensitive guys, but we like to watch other guys, you know, beat each other up.
Here's one thing I would not
other guys and other gals.
Here's one thing I would not like to watch though. You ready for this?
Okay, show it.
This is coming from defector.com. MMA fighter loses fight due to finger falling off and getting lost.
I think my favorite part of that headline is that "and getting lost"
And
implies that that's the only reason.
It reminds me of a few weeks ago when I took my Invisalign out to eat those raisins, gin-soaked raisins, and I dropped it on the ground, and I was like, "Huh, it really is invisible."
Yeah, really. All right. So this is a Canadian fighter, Canadian MMA fighter, Khetag Pliev. Sounds like a Russian name. Pliev. Khetag Pliev.
Fighting out of Toronto by way of Moscow.
By way of Dagestan. He began his fight against Devin Goodale on Thursday night with 10 fingers, as almost every fighter begins almost every fight. But he ended it with 9. Okay. Fans in attendance for Cage Fury FC 94 in Philadelphia got to witness the first win by TKO detached finger in promotion history. So these two are going at it.
Wow.
And what happened was it ended between the second and third rounds when someone in Pliev's corner pointed out where his left ring finger used to be and was presumably like, where the fuck did that finger go?
Like he himself was like, wait.
Yeah. Just listen to this. So nobody knew where the finger was at the time, but it was very clear that he was missing one. Okay. So
was it bleeding a lot?
There was definitely some blood.
Yeah, but I mean, there's blood.
Anyway.
That's right. So oftentimes, and you know, if you've never watched mixed martial arts, it is a violent sport. It's people fighting each other. There's blood. There happens to be blood. So while the exact circumstances of the detachment are not yet clear, the two fighters spent a good chunk of the second round grappling. So that means they're
I thought they was going to say on their hands and knees looking for the finger. Like, I was trying to picture. I'm trying to picture how the fuck does your finger just go missing? Like,
well, yeah. So they're
who
grappling.
doesn't realize?
So like they're probably on the ground in some sort of like jujitsu position,
sweaty.
Basically just think of two grown men tangled up, right? And they're trying to break each other's arms or choke each other out. In the second round, he caught my glove. So this is I think a quote from Pliev. Yes. So in the second round, he caught my glove with one hand and held it. This is Pliev saying this. I felt my finger snapped. All right. This is in the engagement. His finger snapped. He kept pulling my glove and my finger snapped. We kept fighting. When the second round finished, I see My bone was out in the open. I wanted to keep fighting because I felt like I had this guy, but the doctor saw that and stopped the fight.
Such a fighter thing to say.
So CM Punk, who was commentating the fight on UFC Fight Pass, asked Goodale what was up with the whole finger loss thing. And Goodale said he couldn't remember. This is the guy who didn't lose his finger. He couldn't remember since he'd also been punched in the head before the incident.
Multiple times.
So check this out.
Wait, we get to see it?
This is a photo of him holding his hand with the team all around him.
Oh,
and his finger.
Oh, that is bone. Can we
is
get
gone?
We can't get a punch in on that.
We could get a punch in post, but this is the best we can do right here.
I'm moving closer to the screen to see it.
I'm assuming that like that little like white area above is his bone broken off.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So
wow.
So
well, I mean, I guess if you break the bone, well, there's still tendons and muscles.
Dude, it's like raw skin. If you go and look in close, it's like just this like raw mess of flesh.
It's pretty gnarly. Yeah.
Nasty.
So Pliev's missing digit was eventually located inside his glove.
Oh. Well, that seems like a pretty logical place for it to be, I think.
I guess so, but also like think about the way
gloves
those
are
gloves
tight,
work. Like that's
and
tight. Like how does it get in?
Their hands are taped underneath, and like I don't think there's a whole lot of space happening.
But that's what I mean. Like their hands are taped and stuff underneath. So like wouldn't you suspect that it would be really difficult to lose it elsewhere?
Well, your hands get all sweaty when you're fighting, even if they are gloved. So I could see how the lubrication from your sweat could let the little guy in. You know?
Oh, dude, that made my wiener feel weird.
Yeah. So anyway, he ended up going for surgery later that evening, and it seemed to have gone well.
They reattached
reattached his finger. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
How wild is that though? Eh?
It's funny because I mean, again, like you said, we've watched like the amount of fights that I've watched in the past year,
Staggering.
and like I remember getting home from Ecuador and being on lockdown. And those like first, like when we were on like full on lockdown here in Nova Scotia, which thankfully was actually a pretty brief period. We were on like full lockdown from like March to end of May-ish. And then it's been pretty regular since then. But in those first couple months, I went in like a deep dive of if you're not a fan of sport, you're not gonna know the names and stuff, but like Israel Adesanya, and watched like every kickboxing match he ever did, anything. Just watched so many. And when you see like what happens to fighters, and then the refs like, do you want to see the doctor? Hey, doctor, come in here. Doctor, come in here.
Oh my god, dude!
And
Sometimes their eye is dangling out of their head. And the ref's like, I don't think you can fight, and they're going, no, I'm good.
And the doctor comes in,
like, no, you're
and he
not
goes,
good.
and the doctor will come in and go, can you fight? And the fighter's like, yep. You go, okay.
No,
and then they keep fighting.
I've seen the doctor go, you can't.
Yeah.
And the fighter's like, I can't.
And you know what?
Like, no, you can't.
From a medical perspective in fighting,
very
I
important.
will say that the last year has been a major improvement in that, where doctors have been before. The last few years, the last number of years, it's been way more, do you want to keep fighting? Can you keep fighting? And the fighter, of course is going to say yes.
Pliev right there.
There's
saying
a paycheck,
like,
there's adrenaline, there's ego, there's your legacy, there's all these things intertwined. So they're going to say yes. Now, doctors have been much more ready to say, yo, you are clearly not with it.
Dude,
your eye is fucked, your finger's fucked, whatever it is.
Literally quoted saying, when the second round was finished, I see my bone was out in the open. I wanted to keep fighting because I felt like I had this guy.
Yeah, I had him. Dude, he's right where I want him.
That guy is in the zone.
He's still got 10 fingers, but I feel like I could get him down to 9 and level the playing field.
Isn't it crazy how that like gives me goosebumps? I'm like, I want to beat that guy. It's like so inspiring.
That's punched in for it. I want to see that real close.
Oh wow, dude! Yeah. Dude, when flesh is that white, you know it's bad.
Oh yeah, It looked. I mean, it does look. You should Google the photo if you're at home, but it looks like what I would imagine your finger would look like if you were like at home with your hobby shotgun and you were just like cleaning the fucking muzzle, and then you're like, oh, I'm just gonna like clean the inside of the thing, and you like stick your finger in there to like kind of. Like how you clean out some things, you stick your finger in and you go, and then pa-boom, and it goes pa, and then your finger goes bleh, and then you pull it out, and it looks like a fucking Roadrunner scene You know, like something from the Looney Tunes where like it's like it went kablooey, but also it kind of went out like like the way that a hot dog sort of like shrimps out when you split a dog and then roast it.
It's like a banana, like the way that a banana peel opens up and the peel folds over. That's what happens with your flesh.
Hey, you know what? If you're listening at home, don't bother fucking going to YouTube. You don't need to see it. We just perfectly described it for you. Speaking of sporting events that are dangerous, and speaking of what we should be watching here at the office while we have free time, this might be a bad segue because what I'm about to say is actually very sad. But family, okay. This is coming from WRAL.com, which is a news website, health news website. Family sues after California man dies in taco eating contest.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Crazy.
I don't think that's that bad of a segue.
So he choked? He choked? Is that it?
Yeah, so the son of a California man who choked to death during an amateur taco eating contest. What an awful way to go out.
An amateur event, too. It wasn't even pro.
That's the thing.
Does the article say that they asked the family for comment, but they didn't want to talk about it?
Oh my God.
God, there's a dead, we're talking about a dead human right now.
Wow. So I mean, you enter those competitions. Like, I mean, if you've ever watched an eating anything contest,
they signed their waiver.
It's horrific.
Well, you know what? I'll save this. Wait,
do you have a video?
I do. The son of a California man who choked to death during an amateur taco eating contest.
Wait, do you have a video of the event?
No.
Okay,
at a minor
Jesus
league
Christ.
baseball game, is suing the event's organizers for negligence. 18-year-old Marshall Hutchings' lawyer filed Monday alleges his father, Dana Hutchings, was not made aware of the risks and danger involved in an eating competition, the Fresno Bee reported. The 41-year-old died after choking on tacos while competing in the contest during a Fresno Grizzlies game on August 13th, 2019. Participants competed to devour as many tacos as possible during a certain amount of time, which is pretty standard for eating competition.
Eating competition.
So there are professionals in this sport. Professionals of the sport they do go great lengths to make themselves physically able to participate in these types of events. In fact, I believe in a Feel Good Friday episode that we did early days of quarantine, we talked about a scientist who was actually studying how many hot dogs. This is fucking hilarious. A scientist who his life's work is trying to determine.
I don't know if it's his life's work.
He has literally been doing this for 55 years. I quote. I remember the article like it was
his
yesterday.
legacy.
He's trying to figure out how many hot dogs a human can eat.
In 10 minutes, the answer is 83.
So that was
way too many.
That was his calculation.
Yeah.
Based off the absolute highest amount that could possibly be eaten in the perfect circumstances. However, the world record for the most amount of hot dogs ever eaten was broken in 2020 by Joey Chestnut, who actually ate 75 hot dogs and buns in 10 minutes. And here is the last 15 seconds of Joey Chestnut doing that exact thing.
Oh, no.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
Jesus Christ.
Dude,
look at the scores, though. Look at how far ahead he is.
Oh, that looks nasty.
Also, I don't know if you guys noticed, but this is on ESPN.
Dude,
Yo.
that is I'd almost rather watch like a snuff film.
I'd rather watch someone get their finger ripped off.
Yeah.
I want to know.
He really did not look okay.
It's really, really aggressive.
I want
intense.
to know what that guy's bowel movement looked like.
Oh, dude, he
that.
threw up.
He didn't have one.
He
for
threw up so much
sure.
that. Lauren, can you look up how much a single hot dog weighs and then give us a total weight on 75 hot dogs?
Can I give
it
you
is
guys
with
a little
buns?
Yeah. So can I give you a little rundown on like the? I mean, it's obvious that there's dangers in play when doing something as wild as that. Yeah. Hit me. Oh fuck! Here we go.
Over the course of the 10-minute competition, Joey Chestnut gained 10 pounds.
Oh my god!
Whoa!
Wow, 10 minutes.
I think.
10 pounds in 10 minutes.
No, it's funny. We went to a.
Or wait, no, sorry. He gained 24 pounds.
I was gonna say 10 pounds. I was gonna say
No,
10.
he gained
pounds
24 pounds.
Didn't seem like that much because have you guys ever been to Golden Corral?
Dude, 10 pounds in 10 minutes. Hold on, though, Brian.
And
10 pounds in 10 minutes is a lot of pounds in 10 minutes.
But I'll tell you what.
24 pounds in 10 minutes.
I'll
is
qualify
staggering.
that. I'll qualify that by the fact that have you ever been to Golden Corral in the United States? It's like the
it's like a
worst.
seafood. It's like a
just
seafood
buffet. It's like
Yeah.
a shitty buffet place.
Yeah.
And they have like what are those? They call them something steaks, but they're not steaks. They're actually just like fried meat. They have them at Chili's, but anyway, they're nasty. It's like this breaded steak. Anyway, my brother, we had an eating competition there. My brother gained 10 pounds
Wow.
at the buffet, and it
Jeez.
was we weighed ourselves before and after.
Wow.
Schnitzel? You talking about
And-
schnitzel?
No, it's not schnitzel, but it's kind of like schnitzel.
Schnitzel's great.
But
Is
it's
it-
Southwest.
Is
It's
it
a
so good?
Southwest steak. Anyway, doesn't matter because we went into Golden Corral. We weighed ourselves before, and we went in in teams of 2, and the team that gained the most weight in the duration of eating dinner won, and my brother entered solo and he won.
What?
He weighed more at the end than all of the teams of
Well,
2.
remember when we did the thing where your dad took us where we said that we could eat
50
cheeseburgers
from
and then
McDonald's?
your dad was like, which is something I loved about your dad, which is something that it's a characteristic that I have as well. Like if I hear a kid say like I could do that, I'm like, okay. Cool. Let's see if you can. Like and
A sociopathic
and your dad
tendency.
and
Yeah,
your
we get
dad
it.
when he heard that Dennis was like, I could eat 50 cheeseburgers, he was like, let's go see.
Try it.
Yeah.
Took us to McDonald's.
So it is.
sat in the parking lot. And ate
It
50
is.
cheeseburgers.
It is obviously very dangerous. There have been numerous deaths. You know, it's interesting. I know that there's been deaths in MMA, but it is very rare that you hear about a death happening in that sport.
Oh yeah.
Really unfortunate.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, there was a recent death in a kickboxing match that
Oh
that
really?
happened. Yeah, that happened recently.
Oh no.
But it is very rare. But deaths occurring in the competition, the gluttonous competition of competitive eating. Most deaths occur from choking. No shit. October 2012, a 32-year-old man died while competitively eating live roaches and worms. An autopsy revealed he choked to death. I think that might have been the one where the guy was trying to win a python as well.
He was trying to win a python?
Win a python or eat a python or both?
Win. They were talking about it on last podcast on the left on Side Stories a couple of weeks ago. And I think that might be the one.
Yeah.
Buy one.
July 2013, a 64-year-old Australian man, Bruce Holland, died in a pie eating contest. Now that, rest in peace, Bruce. That's awful. However, not a bad way to go.
Dude,
I do love eating pie.
Yeah, but by the time
going out on some pie,
by the
not
time
bad.
by the time you're so full that you don't know how to properly swallow your food, you are not in a good place.
But would you? Sure, but would you rather be doing it with pie or fucking Frank's?
Tacos.
Pie for
Have you
sure.
guys ever
Oh, come
have
on.
you guys ever choked? Like
love
have
a-
you
do love a taco,
have
but
you guys
no.
ever been choking to the point where you're like
No.
scared?
No.
Oh, I have once. Not to the point where I needed to receive the Heimlich maneuver, which is a pretty cool thing. The Heimlich maneuver.
I'd lick you.
You do the
I'd
lick to
li-
me.
I'd
You
lick ya.
me. Yeah, that'd be nice. Maybe I should choke on purpose. But
Maybe you should.
I was choking once, and I was at home on my own, and like I
Do you
was
know how to give yourself the Heimlich maneuver
like
when
on
no
a
one's around?
chair. On a chair, like you
Nope.
you can do a chair against the edge of the wall, like with like a wooden dining room chair.
That's what
You
they
can
say. but
throw yourself
there's a
down
better,
the stairs.
There's a better way.
Okay, well tell me in a second, but anyway, I got to the point where I was like unsure if I was going to be able to get like what do you call it?
Get unchoked?
Unchoked. and I was really scared, man.
I was
because
scared I
it
wasn't
feels
going
like
to be able to be
'cause
non-choking.
You're just like
Yeah.
like
Oh, yeah.
It's like a really
Now imagine
scary
doing
feeling.
that with 74 hot dogs in your fucking
Yeah,
mouth
fuck
in
that.
front of a bunch of maniacs.
How do you get unchoked?
You do this. It's not easy.
Oh wait,
But-
hold on. Can I clarify something?
Sure.
Where Where was this guy? Oh no, he was from California.
He
The
was from
California guy
California.
died with the tacos. Yeah,
Not
yeah.
Florida
Yeah, not
Taylor.
Florida. No.
Right.
You do this. You take your heel and you gotta.
I'm not
You know
that
what?
flexible.
Yeah, you're probably gonna die then. If you're choking on your own, you're gonna die. You basically kick your gut with your heel.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah. All right. Or sorry, not your gut. You
Please
kick
don't-
yourself in the nuts with your heel.
Here we
Please
go.
don't rip your. You're gonna.
Yep.
Okay.
My
I
Achilles.
thought you were gonna like rip your. Oh god. Yeah. Oh
Like that.
god. Wow. Yeah. You got it.
Yeah.
At
I'm
a
actually more flexible than I thought.
Yeah.
At a
you are.
Sacred Heart University event on April 2nd, 2017, a 20-year-old female student died as a result of pancake eating contest. Oh, jeez.
fuck.
She also died choking.
So
on-
more people have died in eating something contests than
Yeah.
the fighting.
We had a
world.
banana.
Yeah.
We had a
Professional
banana
fighting.
eating contest at my high school, and a kid got potassium poisoning. We didn't even know it was a
What?
thing.
You did it to me,
well,
motherfucker.
yeah,
Was it-
wait,
or you
we
did it to
heard
me
about
after.
it, and
You
then
heard
we
it-
came back and
yeah.
made you do
Yeah.
it.
There's also the death here of the 41-year-old man who died eating tacos, who we were just talking about. And then in January of 2020, a woman died in Queensland in a lamington eating contest.
What's
On
lamington?
Australia Day. What is lamington? I don't know. Lamington is an Australian cake made from squares of butter cake or sponge cake.
Oh,
Mm,
that sounds.
they do
that,
look- they
that's,
look-
that sounds chokeable. Though.
People die all the
they
time
look
from
yummy.
eating marshmallows, doing that fluffy bunny challenge. Have you heard of that? Because the marshmallows expand in your esophagus.
Oh,
Choking
Jesus.
isn't
that's
the
brutal.
only danger associated though. So negative health effects of competitive eating include, and I've never heard of this before. I'm gonna have to look this up because I don't know it. Delayed stomach emptying, also known as gastroparesis. Oh, I've heard of that. Also called delayed gastric emptying, is a medical disorder consisting of weak muscular contractions of the stomach, resulting in food and liquid remaining in the stomach for a prolonged period of time. Stomach contents thus exit more slowly into the duodenum. I love that word, duodenum.
My favorite section of the bowel.
Duodenum.
Then you have perforation of the stomach. I think we all understand what that is. That sounds
Wow.
Pretty
Is that
bad.
literally when like it just can't handle the volume of food?
Explodes.
dude. I guess I
That
don't
it
know.
stretches
I mean,
and
yeah.
becomes thin and weak?
I've never heard of this one either before. Boerhaave syndrome. Boerhaave syndrome. Boerhaave. Boerhaave syndrome. Esophageal rupture is what this is.
Whoa.
It's a esophageal rupture is a rupture of the esophageal wall.
Mm.
Latrogenic cause accounts for approximately 56% of esophageal perforations, usually due to medical instrumentation such as an endoscopy or parasagal surgery.
Sorry, Louise.
Do you guys know what what all of these have in common though?
What's that?
What condition they all suffer from when they die from this?
What's that?
Florida man syndrome.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, hey, man,
You don't have to be from Florida to succumb to Florida man syndrome.
you don't.
If you didn't know.
That's right. Yeah.
That's sad.
It is sad. It is sad. There's also like, I don't know. There's something kind of a bummer about eating competitions anyway. It's like it is a very it's a very like
It's like watching that scene
Gluttonous.
in Matilda where they
Yeah.
make the kid eat the chocolate cake and you're just
Yeah.
like, oh,
Dude,
it
I
just
or the
love
hurts
scene
me.
in
Matilda.
Seven where they come
That's
where
way
they,
Yeah.
that's
you
way
know?
that makes way more that's more
way
accurate.
darker.
That's way
Way
darker.
fucking
You
darker.
said 7. I was thinking of 7 pounds with Will Smith.
No.
I'm like,
no.
I don't
No,
remember that
No,
scene.
we're talking Brad Pitt.
Well, don't
Uh,
people?
Brad Pitt
What's
and,
in the box?
yeah. Is it Kevin Spacey who plays the
Yeah, he plays
The-
the bad guy.
the bad guy?
baddie. Yeah. And turns out he actually is a baddie. So that's why he did such a good job playing those roles. Because he was a bad man.
Yeah.
Kevy
Space.
What do you guys want to hear? Do you want to hear something really interesting, or do you want me to do a segment from our new, I think we're going to call it this, I don't know, our new segment
I haven't heard.
name title, which will be What the hell?
Yeah, that's how we're gonna say it every time.
Can we get an intro like animation that goes?
What the hell?
Wait, what sound
But
is
it's
that?
spelled
Is that-
H-E-L-L.
Is that Home
ATH.
Improvement?
Yeah, I think so. let's see what the
Not
health.
like that.
We're on this competitive this competitive train here. Although this isn't a competition, this guy definitely wins some sort of competition here. This is a wild fucking.
Hold on. You guys are.
Go on.
You guys are wearing the exact same thing.
Whoa.
What's
And-
that? Wait,
And
what's
I don't know
happening?
what you're
Why are
talking
you?
about.
what's wrong with two 30-something-year-old men wearing the exact same outfit?
Hold on, wait, hold on. Brian, your pants are the same as your sweater.
Yeah.
And Jeremy's pants and sweater are the exact same as you.
I'm just surprised that
Mhm.
did you watch the Biden inauguration? Did you see how in monochromatic suits are? Especially like particularly with women, one color full thing looks great.
Looks great.
Yeah.
And I took my inspiration from
Looks great.
those folks.
Did you coordinate this?
It's just a style thing.
Is there a message that I was left out of?
I mean,
Did
there may or may not have been a memo.
You're probably matching with Han Solo, but he's not here, so we can't really be sure.
You know I like Star Wars.
You do look like Han Solo fucked Ronald McDonald. All right, so this guy should win some sort of competition. I fucking hope so, because I hope this doesn't happen to anybody else ever, and I hope he holds the record and that it's not a thing. This is a case study that makes me really uncomfortable. A man from Germany had extraordinarily high levels of triglycerides, a type of fat, in his blood. A man's blood was so thick with fat, his doctors needed to manually draw blood, a practice known as bloodletting, to help save his life, according to a new report of the unusual case. So here is a photo of this man's blood. Okay.
Probably
There's
looks like
so
a
much
dessert.
fat in his blood
Oh my
whoa.
God.
that it
Dude.
literally came out milk white.
That looks like
That's-
those nasty cups that everybody always has on the top
Dude,
of their
that's
stoves.
crazy. I watched I
Yeah.
got blood work done last week, and I
man, that's
watched the
wild.
blood. I watched the blood come out, and
That's cool.
it was so like it
Comes out
was
such a rich
it's
purple.
so
Yeah.
it's so deep
So
red.
dark. Yeah.
It's so
was-
warm.
It's not even
too.
red. It's
But
like
then it slowly turned to what that guy's looked like.
Do you guys know? You guys
No,
know
it
that?
didn't.
You guys know the cup of like? Does everybody have this? That like a glass of just fat or grease that just sits on your stove.
I don't, but
I know
my
you're
I
talking
did
about.
growing up.
I keep mine
Yeah.
in my freezer.
That's a good place to keep it.
Yeah,
That's
that
a
way
much
it's
more
not just
civilized
Well,
place
out.
to
that's
keep it,
because
Lauren.
that's
Yeah.
probably because your cat would eat it.
Definitely that, but
Yeah.
also I just don't want to look at it, and that way when I go to throw it away, it's frozen solid, so
Yeah.
it doesn't make a mess.
It's solid anyway. It's
But
it's
fat-
solid.
fat can be
solidified.
liquid.
It'll
Yeah.
it'll take
solidifies.
like.
I mean,
it'll
I
take
don't
like
do it. I just
40
pour
Yeah.
mine down my drain.
as long as
No,
they're-
you don't.
No, come on, fat
No,
bird.
you
I'm
don't.
joking.
Professor
guys, I'm
Love is
joking.
gonna fly
Yeah.
from England to beat the
Yeah.
shit
Actually,
out of you.
Yeah.
I've said this before, but when I worked in real estate, I would look at the septic. We would run the septic snakes out to the sewer line, and you'd see that nasty fucking fat in the sewer pipe. Ugh, looked like that guy's blood.
Well, a 39-year-old
Oh.
man had gone to the emergency room after experiencing nausea, vomiting, headaches, and decreased alertness. He had. What do you think he had to get this? What do you think is the underlying condition? We've definitely covered it on Sick Boy before. Any guesses?
Diabetes.
Yes. Good job. Diabetes.
Chick-fil-A.
What?
He had diabetes and was on several drugs to treat the condition, but wasn't taking these medications regularly, according to the case report published on February 25th in the journal
He wasn't taking
in
them?
the journal Annals of Internal Medicine. What a great journal name. The Annals of Internal Medicine. So he wasn't taking his meds. In the hospital, the man had lost consciousness and needed a breathing tube to help inserted to help him breathe. Tests revealed that the man had extraordinarily high levels of triglycerides, a type of fat in his blood. Triglyceride, this is fucking wild. So triglyceride levels, and please, if you are listening at home, just at least Google this so you can see the image we are looking at. It is quite staggering, but listen to this. Triglyceride levels below 150 milligrams per deciliter are considered normal. So 150 milligrams
Or less.
or less are normal.
That still seems like quite a bit.
A high level.
How do you know that?
Yeah.
Because I know how much milligrams per deciliter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
There are two measurements. You can picture that.
What do you have that to compare to?
I know.
Well, I think of this. I think of this all the time. I think of.
Can I fucking finish?
Well, Taylor's asking me a bunch of questions, acting like I don't know.
Yeah, just let me finish this. Now that you know, when I tell you how much there are, you're gonna be really fucking.
I will
blown away.
actually, yeah,
Taylor,
because I understand
measurements. Taylor won't get it.
Yeah.
Taylor won't get the staggering amount here, but you will.
I will for sure. Yeah, tell me about it. Lay it on me.
So 150 milligrams per deciliter.
Holy shit!
Are considered normal.
That still seems like a lot.
according to the National Institutes of Health. Levels above 500 milligrams per deciliter are considered very high.
Yeah,
500
no
is very high. That's a lot. So 500 milligrams is very high, and this guy had 14,000 milligrams of triglyceride levels.
That's a lot.
It's a lot.
Well,
so much
that sounds like a lot.
So much so that it made the man's blood look milky. If you didn't see the photo, I highly suggest you go check it out. Such levels of high triglycerides can cause inflammation of the pancreas or pancreatitis, a potential serious condition. Indeed, tests shown the man had elevated levels of pancreatic enzymes, which could be a sign of this condition. So this was so bad. He was also in ketoacidosis. So he was all fucked up. This guy was all sorts of fucked. It was so bad that the doctors used a machine, tried to use a machine to filter out the fat out of the blood. It's a process known as plasmapheresis.
Oh my Lord, dude.
But when the man's doctor attempted the plasmapheresis, the machine became clogged due to the extreme high fat in the blood.
Yo, do you think this guy was just like an ill-informed on an ill-advised keto diet?
No, I think
he's diabetic and he's like he needs sugar, obviously.
No, I think it's. I mean, who knows? It's total speculation, but.
He was just
if I
having
was to guess,
bacon and
butter. I think he just wasn't taking his meds.
I think he was just swallowing the leftover fat from his cooking.
He didn't have a glass around
that
he wasn't taking his meds?
He wasn't taking his meds, but you know what? Also, what was his
body doesn't produce insulin.
It seems unlikely that his
body doesn't
only
produce
just
insulin, and therefore this is what happened.
But I mean, I don't think so. I don't think our friend Eddie, who has diabetes, like if Eddie just stopped taking his meds, I bet you'd be rare for this to happen.
Yeah, I would say I'd say it would probably be 400 milligrams per deciliter. But like that's what I would say.
I mean, 400 milligrams.
This is an extreme case. 1,400 milligrams per deciliter.
And I don't need any other numbers to compare that to.
Well, I wouldn't. I would say that probably it would have been my guess that it would have been about 30 milligrams per deciliter at first, but I was surprised by 100.
So his doctors attempted the plasmapheresis a second time. Again, the machine broke. So then the doctors turned to bloodletting. This is something that, if you're not familiar with, is like an old practice that I thought was like no longer a thing because it was like total pseudoscience and
it's no longer a thing for the reason that they were doing it when they were doing it.
Yes, but in this case, they were like, we need to fucking
This is the only option.
We need to drain this fucker. Like, we need to just slice this guy open and drain him. They drew a liter of the man's blood and replaced it with red blood cells and plasma, the liquid portion of the blood from a donor.
Did the doctor have a large cape and fangs? Because it's there's potential here.
His blood. It doesn't say. It does say that his name was.
He wouldn't even get blood.
Was his name
Count? If he was a vampire,
his name was Count Chocula.
Oh, okay, never mind.
If he was a vampire, he wouldn't even get blood. He'd think he got blood and then he'd die because he didn't actually eat.
That person's blood would be like the cheeseburger of vampire blood. Think about it.
Yeah.
It'd be pretty tasty.
It'd be like the what was that KFC thing that got like
the
double down? Yeah, it's like the double
or
down.
the Baconator.
Yeah.
So they drew a liter of the man's blood, replaced it with red blood cells and plasma. This led to a decrease in the triglyceride levels, so that the doctors could then
use the machine.
5 days later, doctors were able to remove the patient's breathing tube, and he didn't have any lingering neurological symptoms. And So scientists looked at this and they told Live Science that they had never seen a case like this before. The new report suggests that if plasmapheresis cannot be performed, conventional bloodletting with blood and fluid replacement may be an effective alternative for patients with extremely high triglycerides, the authors concluded. So, sucks that this guy went in there and this happened to him. However, at least now we know that there's potentially a space and place in emergencies for bloodletting to be a thing that actually is
Maybe it'll make
effective.
maybe it'll make a comeback.
Yeah, bloodletting's cool now because of that 39-year-old guy who had the milk blood.
Because like like flat Earth made a comeback, and
Yeah,
so
this is true.
so could bloodletting.
But the thing is that flat Earth is true. That's why it's making a comeback.
Right.
What is wild though about this whole like bloodletting thing is that it wasn't a scenario where the doctors were like, well, let's go to the playbook here and follow. Like this was them thinking, this was them going, we have no idea what to do. It's a crazy idea, but let's try bloodletting. Like let's try draining him of blood and then trying to just like feed a bunch of fucking new blood into him.
Well, they probably had him. It was probably a sort of like a simultaneous process, I imagine, or maybe not simultaneous, but they probably had him hooked up to. That's how cyclists would blood dope. Basically, they just get a blood transfusion. They'd have their blood taken out, and they'd have other blood being put back in at the same time.
But there's a difference between that and bloodletting.
Yeah.
Right? Because bloodletting is them going, we can't have it's not a simultaneous process where they're gonna go, look, and I know fucking what's her name is gonna listen to this. Louise is gonna listen to this and fucking I'm sure she has all the answers. But if I was to guess,
without my science degree,
without any degree whatsoever, I would say that the thing that makes it different is that it's not a simultaneous process. Like they are literally going, okay, we gotta, did you ever watch Let the Right One In? Just rewatched it the other day. It's so fucking good. But the scene where this guy's like basically prepping a meal for his he's the familiar to this vampire and he's trying to prep a meal for his vampire.
Familiar. Oh my God.
And he hangs a dude in a tree and goes to cut his neck to drain this guy's blood out.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing that shit. They're going, we need to just suck as much blood out of you as we can.
Oh, I feel like,
and then before you get sick and die, we need to then pump new blood into you.
I feel like
Whereas
that's gonna be
the other thing is like this super highway of blood that goes in and comes out.
I wonder how far you can go before, like how much blood can you get rid of before it's like, yo?
But they do that with
you need more now.
chemo patients, I think, or cancer patients who are going through chemo or immunotherapy. They do the
here we go
machines where they run the blood through and they're cleaning it as it goes. Right.
I'm going to tell you how much blood, and then Brian's going to probably say something about the measurement of it.
I
But
will.
if you lose more than 40%
Definitely.
of your blood, you will die.
Holy shit!
This is
40%.
This is about 2,000 milliliters.
Whoa.
But more tangibly, like when you donate blood, they only take, I think it's a pint.
Yeah.
And then if you weigh over 150 pounds, you can donate 2 pints, but they like filter out, I think it's your platelets or like some other material from your blood. Like
How much is a pint of blood in milliliters?
It's 16 ounces.
I don't know, but I weigh over 150 pounds. So I asked like, cool, like, can I give double?
Yeah,
And then
a pint is like 477 milliliters, isn't it?
I think, let me
I think this is
check.
a
I don't
pint
know.
here.
Yep.
473.
Okay, sweet.
Yeah,
but I offered
Is
to
that a
give
pint,
them
though?
like
Yeah, this
double the amount, which you would think is like good. And they'd be like, yeah, but they were
How many
like, no,
ounces
we
is
need
that
your
here?
platelets.
I'm gonna look
We
it
want
up
you to
right now.
only give one. And I was like, oh,
Interesting.
okay. Yeah, I thought it was cool.
I haven't given blood in a very long time.
That's it. That's exactly this. Yeah.
So never
This
mind.
is exactly a pint. So this much blood comes out of you.
Yeah. And
For listeners,
yeah.
I'm holding a tall
That's a
can
lot.
of Propeller
But that's
Brewing.
and there's
Yeah.
2,000 milliliters in your body.
No, they said
Yeah, I was gonna say.
40% of your blood,
It's
which
2,000
works out to be
milliliters.
about 2,000 milliliters.
So that would be about 10%.
That's actually surprisingly less blood than I thought in your body.
Yeah. You have about 10 pints of blood, about 8% of
Crazy.
your body
I
weight.
mean, I have
Whoa.
nothing
so
really
wait,
to compare
so
to.
how
I'm
many of
just
these?
guessing.
So if I lost 4 of these,
Yeah.
I would be pretty much going to be dying.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dude, think about Okay.
See, that's what.
Do you guys
it's less
remember?
blood than you'd think.
I wish I had. I mean, I can't pull it up right now, but you know what? We'll pull it up in post, Bri. Do
Yeah.
you remember? I remember taking CPR several times in my life, and 2 or 3 out of the several times I've took it, they would show a video to show you how when someone gets their artery sliced open, how the blood actually like flows out of that person and how quickly they can like spray an area. It's a horrifying video, but also like pretty. I think it's something that like everyone should see because it's such a perfect setup to be able to see what's happening here. Basically, it was a NHL hockey game back in like the early 90s, and it was a goaltender.
Oh yeah.
Bunch of guys
So
rushed the
nasty.
net. There was like a collision. Dudes fall and they slam into the goalie. And as they slam into him, one of their skates sort of slices his throat or
Dominic
slices his neck.
Hasek, I think it was Dominic Hasek.
And he gets up. And when he gets up, you see, because it's this like fucking fluorescent light, beaming white sheet of ice. And you can see the blood shoot like, dude, it shoots like 8-9 feet.
The trainer saves his life.
Yeah,
That's right. Trainer runs out, saves his life. But it basically,
Was
the
it
whole thing
Dominic
was
Hasek?
this is how quickly things can get out of control. And just to think of the amount of blood that shot out of him in that moment, and then to look at this and go, 4 of these filled up, dude, that would not take long.
And you know what was crazy about
Right.
him was that if it was Dominic Hasek, which I'm pretty sure it was, he wore like a full goalie mask in hockey, goes down and like has like a piece that extends past your chin, so it like covers your neck almost. And even beyond that,
I don't think he had that though. I don't think the
didn't,
plastic
That's the
plastic thing. That,
no. So 2 things.
He wore a different
Dominic
helmet.
Hasek did not wear a goalie mask. He wore a regular player's helmet.
Yeah.
With a player's cage like a minor hockey player would wear.
Right.
Instead of the goalie mask, which a goalie mask has like an extended, it has
Like a long chin.
It's got a long chin, and then a lot of goalies on top of that would wear like a little plexiglass piece that would even hang below that.
It was like a plexiglass necklace pendant.
yeah, and it would
But
like
that
hang
was
down.
for like to avoid the
And-
puck from bouncing off your throat.
So
right?
he came back and still wore the old school like player's helmet
Wow,
instead
what
of
a
the goalie helmet,
fucking
but he
beast.
put the
Yeah.
like plastic thing on underneath after he got his neck cut open.
Yeah, it's fucked.
All right, so here's the video of him getting his neck split open, and you can watch this over on YouTube right now.
It was a horrifying incident which could have been even worse. Sabre goaltender Clint Malarchuk suffered a partially severed jugular vein and underwent 1.5 hours of surgery last night.
Wow.
Yeah. I wonder if
about
we're
that?
allowed to show
I haven't
that.
seen that
I don't
in a
know,
long time.
but if we're not allowed, I guess folks will know when they watch the video and there's nothing there, and there's a really awkward moment.
I
where
did
nothing
find a
happened.
picture that we can use,
Oh,
and
there we
you
go,
can see
sweet.
all the blood all over the ice. But it
Oh.
took 300 stitches. His name was
Whoa,
Clint
whoa.
Malarchuk.
Oh, it wasn't
And he-
Dominic Hasek.
I think, yeah. Well, maybe there was
Maybe
like
it
more
was
than
another,
one.
maybe it was
but
another one.
It was it happened in 1989.
Yeah, right.
And another player's skate severed his jugular.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Yeah, he was from on the Buffalo Sabres, right?
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah,
Interesting.
man, that video is
Tons.
so gnarly. I always remember watching that in CPR and just thinking, "Ooh, don't want that."
That's so
Mm.
crazy.
That makes my neck feel weird. Like it makes my neck feel vulnerable. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Stabbing, slicing, like those things.
I
Yeah,
hate those words.
slice, stab, gash.
Stop it.
Like and it'd be like, I don't know, I feel like I kind of just had like a little bit of a flashback to when I got hit by the car and I was like on the ground and going, and I was there going like, what is open?
Mm.
Like that was one of my
Mhm.
first thoughts.
Mm.
My first thought was, is my bike okay? Second thought, are my wheels okay?
Mm.
Third thought, where am I?
Did my dick work?
Where am I bleeding? And I wasn't bleeding too bad from very many. I was bleeding pretty bad, but like, because you can't feel anything.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised, like like if you get your neck cut open, like I wonder how quickly you're aware of how fucked you are
In that video, he is,
immediately.
dude, immediately
yeah.
hands to throat.
Yeah.
Crazy.
He's like, and it's a wild panic. It like he really goes into a panic.
I wonder if there's something about your throat or like your leg where you've got an artery that's like different. Because I've gotten like several times I've gotten a stick in the face, particularly when I was playing with a visor, when I was playing junior and we wore a visor instead of a cage. Got a stick in the face, and you'd be skating around the ice, and then somebody would be like, "Yo, your lip you need stitches."
I think there's a
You'd go-
difference. I think
you'd
there's a
go,
difference
"Huh?"
though. There's a difference though between you splitting your skull open, splitting your head open, or a cut above your eyebrow.
That's what I mean. I wonder
And-
if there's like an innate.
I think there's a big difference between
Like-
that and a cut that's so deep that it goes through an artery.
Yeah,
That's
and
what I mean,
think
yeah.
Because you're gonna feel again, the artery is every time your heart goes.
I can see your artery, dude. I can see.
Yeah, and every time
Yeah.
my heart goes,
Oh, man, I
you're
don't
getting
like it.
you're getting.
It's so available to me.
Yeah.
I don't like
We're
it.
so
Don't say that.
mushy, dude. We are squishy little fucking
Yeah.
squishers.
And if you
could
have,
we're just so squishy.
yeah.
We're pretty vulnerable.
We're so vulnerably squishy.
I think it's that though.
Think
Like,
of infants, dude.
Oh
You ever
God,
pick up,
no!
You ever pick up a
I don't
fucking
want to
ba-
think of
I
an
picked up my
infant.
nephew the other day, and I was like, I could
No,
crush you.
don't.
I could.
But don't.
I won't. But I was
Don't.
just holding him. I was holding him. I was going, you're so cute. And you're so
cute.
lucky you're
The
so
worst
cute.
is-
Because if you weren't, I could crush you.
someone's gonna play this in court one day.
No, but but the cuter they are, the more you want to crush them. That's the
Yeah,
hard part.
But the
It
worst
is
part
true.
is that you could look
This is
at them.
actually a real thing.
You
know
can look
this,
at them
right?
and want to crush them, but the worst part is that you could accidentally drop them, and
Yeah.
they're so
Like when I
squishy.
wake up next to Loki in the morning.
you know what? Actually, about that though, dropping babies.
They're pretty durable.
Yeah, dude, they bounce.
Oh, okay.
They fucking bounce.
When I
Have you
when
done
I
it?
wake up next to Loki in the morning, I just want to grab
drop
his
babies
face
all day.
I just want to rip his little face off. Every time I wake up, I go, "Oh, we'll get your little face. I just wanna rip it. I just
That's
wanna rip your little
actually
face
called cute aggression.
It is, and it is a real thing,
Pinching
and
cheeks.
it comes from evolution. It's an evolutionary byproduct. The response called cute aggression in a new study suggests it tempers an overwhelming response in the brain in the delightful presence of chubby babies, fluffy puppies, or other adorable little things. It isn't uncommon to be
Oh,
overwhelmed
dude.
by a desire to squeeze,
I'm grinding my teeth right now.
pinch, or bite. So we want to do this. And let's see here. You certainly don't want to hurt the cute creatures. You just want to squish them.
Why,
Cute
though?
aggression
Why?
was first described in a 2015 study, but most investigations into this phenomenon have been concerned with its behavioral underpinnings. So as part of an investigation published on Frontiers in Behavioral Neuroscience, Stavropoulos and her co-author Laura Alba sought to find out how the brain influences our strange response to cute babies and animals.
It is overwhelming,
Does
isn't
it say? I feel like I might be able to relate to this if it says, "Is there any weights given of like how squishy or how thick or like preferably in grams of the weight of the baby?"
No, it actually comes from like
Because I feel like I'd be able to better visualize how this form of cute
Do
aggression.
you know how many Newton meters of force you have to apply?
How many micrograms of squish do you have to squeeze?
let's see here.
Is the squeeze squoze?
Yeah, here it is. Here it is. So, scientists suspect that cute aggression is the brain's way of coping with the overwhelming response that occurs when these two powerful brain systems are triggered. Which is using EEG caps, the researchers were able to gain insight into the neural activity of participants who experienced cute aggression. This response was associated with greater activity not only in the brain's emotional systems, but also in its reward systems, which regulate motivation, pleasure, and feelings of wanting.
Yes. Yes, I want.
The
I
brain's
want.
trying to cope with the overwhelming response that occurs when these two powerful brain systems are triggered at the same time to temper the onslaught of positive feelings. In other words, the brain tosses in a dash of aggression. And there may also be good reason, if evolutionary speaking, why this occurs. Quote, if you find yourself incapacitated by how cute a baby is, so much that you simply can't take care of it, that baby is going to starve. Moving forward, Stavropoulos hopes to tease out more nuances of cute aggression, like whether parents experience more cute aggression when looking at images of babies than people without children. In the meantime, rest assured that there is no need to feel bad at the sight of a pudgy babies fills you with the weird compulsion to pinch them
Do you guys?
or squish them.
do
or
you
just
guys think
hug
that-
them until
do you
their
guys
eyes
think-
pop out of their head?
Do you guys think I'm a nice person? Would
It
you say
is
that, like,
good
I'm a
to know
pretty
why
nice
I want to
person?
murder my dog.
Can I just say, I do know you're a nice person, but
Do
can
you
I just say
think-
this? There were times, and rest in peace, Bigby, I miss you, buddy. But there were times, because his ears were so soft, there were a couple times
You'd
where I
bite
was
them?
I was laying with them
Keep,
and I bite
keep
them.
going.
And then there was one time where I was like,
A bit too hard.
no, I was like, I wonder how hard I'm allowed to bite. Because like I want to bite it off. And so I just
Did he tell you?
I went.
Did he tell you?
He did. Yeah, he made it
Yeah.
quite clear that I bit a little too hard.
And
that was when I was like, okay, cool. Now I know I won't bite it that hard anymore.
And
It's
then
making my
what?
jaw hurt.
And then what'd you do?
So
I just want to squeeze it.
So guys, I don't know if I'm alone in this, but I just like I feel cute aggression towards puppies. I just think that puppies are the cutest thing ever. I don't think babies are that cute. I don't think I've seen a baby that I'm like, that's a cute baby.
Depends on
I don't think I've ever seen a baby that
You've
I'm like,
never
that's a cute
seen
baby.
a placenta covered newborn slush out of an opening
Like,
and just come new
just
into the earth.
sloosh
I've
right
looked
out.
at it. I've looked at it and I've thought, oh, that's a beautiful experience, or like that's a good looking baby.
What about
Like,
Austin?
that's a
Like
cute-
videos of Austin. Dude,
Yeah,
there's some videos
so-
of Austin
so-
where you're like,
yeah, but
that
he's
is-
not a
that's
baby.
That's a perfect example because when he was a baby and he was really pudgy, I looked at that and I went, "Oh, he's a really cute baby." But like, there's no like visceral reaction.
Yeah,
of
I'm
mine
with
to
you.
it. Like,
I'm,
not
with,
like,
I'm with you on that.
I don't have
Oh,
like
wow,
I'm not like,
wow.
oh yeah, that's
guys
a
are
super
fucking-
cute baby.
Yeah.
You guys are
But
fucking weird.
with puppies,
Puppies are hardcore.
Oh man,
Puppies
Like,
make my
yeah,
inside
yeah.
start to turn.
Or like baby otters.
yeah.
Don't.
Or
Dude,
baby wombats.
Dude, any baby,
fur
any
covered
fur covered
baby.
animal
Fuck.
is like it
Human
just
babies? Meh.
hurts me.
I think it depends on with human babies.
If
At least
human
for
babies
me, I
were
don't
covered in
think.
fur, then yeah.
Well, I don't think every human baby is super cute. I think a lot of them are fucking ugly.
Some
I
of them are
was
some
for
of
a
them are
long
fucking ugly.
time.
Some of them are, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you have an ugly baby at home,
It's okay.
I'm so sorry.
we're so sorry.
Some
Cover
ugly
its head.
babies grow up to be good looking people.
And if you do have one, you know,
Rare-
you know,
rarely,
you
very
know,
rare,
you
very
know that
rare
you
does
do.
that happen. However,
Lauren,
it can happen.
do you feel cute aggression? Like, have you ever felt like aggressive towards something that is cute?
Yeah.
You ever clench your teeth?
Oh, dude, I
I
used to,
beat the shit out of my cat every day.
Nice.
Do you feel that? Have you felt that towards babies? Is there like a baby that you look at and you're like, that's so fucking cute. I want to bite its ear so hard that it squeals.
I've never really been around that many
Squeals.
babies. Like, but there are pictures that I've seen of baby of like now that I've gone to the age where like everyone is having a child every single day. I'm like, oh, some of these babies are super cute, and then
Some are cuter than
others. I'm like, good luck.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
But there's hope for them because I was an ugly baby and now I'm a moderately attractive adult. So there,
I was an ugly kid.
you know,
I wasn't. My nephew. There, you
Looking
know,
for a little bit of praise
that,
here.
that thing I said about Bigby.
you're the last person that needs
Yeah.
Taylor.
The thing I said about Bigby's ears, where I bit his ears just to see how much pressure I could do.
Did you
it
draw
with.
blood?
No, he didn't let me do it. He didn't let me bite that hard. He was like, I don't fucking like that. And I went, very, okay, touche.
Noted.
No more.
Noted.
Also, don't want you to bite my fucking head off because you are a very large dog. However, with Austin, who's my sister's son,
Have you bit his ears?
I bit his
Just
fingers.
imagining you alone
So he-
in your home biting Bigby's ears on the floor, and you'd be like, "Is that okay, buddy? A little harder."
But you know what?
I actually was. It was literally that. It was during the
Like
pandemic.
you on
just
the
me and him,
floor?
and I'm like, I'm just gonna bite, buddy. Just stay there, bud. Can I do harder? Just a little harder. Okay. That's enough.
But consent was asked for, so it's fine.
That's right. But with Austin,
There's
I did it with his
dialogue.
fingers, and I did want to see, I just wanted to see how far I could bite, and
Before he started to cry.
Yo.
no, not cry, but just before I could see him going, like, because it was fun, and then I could see it being like him going, "Is this fun anymore?" And me going, "Okay, cool." But in my head, I'm going, I just wish I could bite it off.
You want to
Guys,
bite it off?
I'm gonna bring
I
this
wanna bite
full
it off. I want to
circle.
bite it off
I'm
like
gonna
that
bring
fighter.
this full circle.
Yeah.
So yeah, coming back to the fighter, do you know how much force it takes to bite off a human finger compared to so if you're to compare biting a human finger
What's
I'm
the
gonna say-
what's the
I'm gonna
measure? What's the
say-
measurement, Bri?
Yeah.
food to Newton meters, but more
Sure.
specifically,
Foot-pound torque?
Yeah, exactly, you got it. So in relationship to eating food, is there a piece of food that you could guess would resemble or be very similar to the force it would take to bite off
Yes.
a finger?
Well
Yeah, I
done,
do.
well done
What-
steak.
I do.
Well done steak. That's a good guess. What do
A
you?
full-sized carrot.
Or
Yeah.
I'm gonna say pork chop. I'm gonna say pork
The
chop.
middle of a full-sized carrot.
You're bang on. Yeah, dude. A carrot is the amount of force that it would take to bite off a human
Look,
finger.
I'm not going to
Oh,
say.
I can
look,
bite off a human
I'm
finger.
not
then.
going to say.
Everybody could. It's
Here,
mentally.
here,
The only
here,
reason
here,
you can't,
here.
you can put your
Put it
finger in your
Here.
mouth and
Put it
start
in. Come here,
biting,
Brian.
and your brain won't allow you to do it.
I
Try
would,
it.
mine would.
I'm not going to say that I tried biting Austin's baby finger the same way that I bite into a
I'm
baby
sending
carrot.
this clip to your sister.
But when I was biting his finger, I was thinking to myself,
I could.
just bite a little less than how you bite on a carrot.
Imagine you bit, guys. I want to have the person on the podcast that bit off their child or niece or
From
nephew's
cute aggression.
finger.
Well,
From
so here's the
cute
thing,
aggression.
and also, by the way, everyone, I'm joking. If you fucking listened to that and you thought I wasn't joking, I'm joking. I've never bit my fucking I did bite Bigby's ears. I won't take that back. I did do that.
You're mostly joking.
I'm joking about biting my nephew. Although but to your point about you want to talk to the parent that bit their kid's finger off. I'm sure a parent has done that, and that's awful.
And you know what's
they
crazy?
belong in a special
Yeah.
place in hell.
Say anything that you think a parent has done,
They've done it.
they've done it.
But what I will say is that this idea of cute aggression, it's not one of those things where it's like if you have really intense cute aggression, you're gonna go, oh my god, the baby's so cute, I'm gonna crush its skull. That's not what happens. It's just like it's this weird. You know what it reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of like ASMR. It's like one of those things where it's like you either get it or you don't.
That's rage aggression, though.
You either no, it's not. That is for me. It is.
Yeah,
but
same.
Not for me. I like it.
Yeah, some people love ASMR. It's like this trigger.
I don't love ASMR either. It's like ASMR to me is like a cute baby. I'm like, I get it for some people,
Weird.
but like for me, it's just I can acknowledge that it's okay. It
Interesting.
doesn't do it all the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of makes me angry.
Kind of like cleaning my ears. Like I get how it could make you have
the
an orgasm
thing.
but
Yeah, right.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. What? Oh, we talked about this.
Yes, this
Yeah.
has been a piece of thing that we've been discussing for a while. Well, this was a fascinating conversation, folks. And we're always glad that you're down to sit down and talk to us. And also so stoked that we got to officially kick off our newest Feel Good Friday segment. What the hell? So thanks for Dennis for that stupid name of that.
Did Dennis submit that?
Dennis
Yeah.
submitted that. Yep.
That's really
Folks, we appreciate each and every one of you, especially our patrons. You are our favorite. And if you want to, if you want to know what that's all about, you can just go to patreon.com/sickboy.
We would love that.
Check it out.